Today let's talk about the Japanese net slang which is above my head. Can you read that? Well, if you said sakyo, I'm sorry to say you have been azumuku, because this is actually read as samune. So like urayama and other terms I've talked about recently, samune is a bit of kanji play, because this is homophonous, or sounds exactly like the word samune, which is a shortening of the Japanese borrowing of thumbnail from English. Not as in on your finger, but as to refer to thumbnail images. Although I would say that from my experience in the Japanese context, a samune sometimes has a broader meaning. Like I've definitely seen pictures of things that I would just call like a picture, called a samune, but that's a whole other discussion. Basically, this is how you normally write samune, and this is how you can write samune by changing the sa into the kanji for fraud, and the mune into the kanji for chest, or, especially in this context, breasts. Yup, this entry is going to be a pretty dumb one, but those words exist too, and they deserve attention. So samune is a bit of Japanese net slang, which is used to refer to an image, usually of a fictional character, wherein the person's chest appears larger than it is in real life, or in kind of official canon representations of that character. A pretty straightforward use you can see here, as someone notes that a drawing of Hatsune Miku is a bit bustier than usual, using the samune label to do so. Another pretty clear example you can see here, which has a Hololive character from their 2024 medley. Now the thumbnail that I see for this when I go on YouTube is completely different, but either this one existed or someone used it in an upload to try to get clicks or something like that. This is like a literal mune sagi, because in the video, like after the person's done singing, a fake chest falls out of their shirt. And to do the whole hat trick, here's a pretty clear example where VTuber Okami Mio, who normally looks like this, posted a thumbnail for a live that they were going to do where they're going to play a game called Potion Craft, and then depicted them with a chest that is much larger than in their kind of official artwork, and someone uses samune to kind of call that out, even referencing the original use of samune in their post. So as we've seen then, in some cases, the term is actually used with a sense of fraud, as in that is not the chest size of the person or fictional character that is being depicted, but in other cases, it's simply saying, hey, this drawing or picture is not attending to the actual canon design of that character, even if it is not actually linking to anything or trying to sell anything or anything like that. The fraud is that it doesn't represent the reality of the fictional character. A related term with important differences, though, is samune hoi hoi. And this one actually has kind of a fun origin, because hoi hoi has a bunch of random meanings you'll see if you look it up in a dictionary, but one is kind of like a way of saying, oh, come on in, go ahead. Now, this got adopted for some reason, yes, because it's fun, by a Japanese company that makes cockroach traps. So Gokiburi hoi hoi, like, come on in, cockroaches, is a product that exists in Japan. Japanese netizens kind of jumped on this and turned hoi hoi into a phrase that doesn't just mean kind of come on in, but anything that kind of grabs you and draws you in. For instance, samune hoi hoi, without any of the kanji play, is a thumbnail that makes you want to click on it really bad. The thumbnail may be accurate, it's just you see it and you go, oh wow, I want to look at what that is. If we change the kanji back to the fraud chest kanji though, samune hoi hoi is any kind of image online that makes you want to click on it because there's an image of a chest, usually a woman's. And in this case, there doesn't have to be any fraud involved, just that the thumbnail is selected to grab your attention and make you click on the video, the picture, the whatever. All of these videos on Nico Nico, for instance, have this somewhere in the comments, and like I clicked on the bottom one just for data, and it's just a Vocaloid song using Hatsune Miku, which has a kind of erotic picture of them as the thumbnail, which has nothing to do with the song. All of these terms have been around since at least 2008, although I actually cannot find any on Google or anywhere else before then. Not saying it doesn't exist, just can't find it. With most people saying the whole thing started as a tag on Pixiv. So there you go, that's all it is, there's nothing more to it. But at least now if you're browsing the internet and you click on something just due to neuron activation, you have a word for it. Assuming you write it down in kanji.